Welcome, welcome to Candid Creoles, where we celebrate and elevate Haitian excellence and friends. And today we have our guest, Pierre Moise Louis. And welcome, Pierre Moise.
Thank you, Isabel, for inviting me.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to meet with you. Pierre Moise Louis is an agronomist and an entrepreneur. And Pierre Moise has founded Jeremie Breadfruit Flour and Nursery, also known as JBFN. And he is the coordinator of a peasant organization called Union des Paysans pour le développement de Guinaudais, also known as UPDG. Pierre Moise took entrepreneurship training in Jamaica and in the United States. And he is now pursuing a master at Universidade Estadual de Mato Grosso do Sul, also known as UEMS in Brazil. Pierre Moise was selected by the U.S. Department as America's Young Leader of 2021. So he'll be done with his training in April. So you were done with that training in April of 2021.
Yes.
Thank you for being here. It is a pleasure to see the work that you're doing in Haiti, because as everybody knows, we need to plant. And what you chose to do is to start with breadfruits. Is that correct? Planting breadfruits?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, great. So I'm going to first ask you to tell us a little bit more about you and how are you doing?
Great. Thank you again for inviting me. And I want to greet everybody that will follow us on Facebook Live. So as you said, my name is Pierre Moise Louis. I'm Haitian. And then I was born in Jeremie, and I did all of my study in Jeremie. And after in 2012, I created Jeremie Breadfruit Flour and Nursery. When I created my business, I was student. I was second grade in agriculture agronomy. So I started, and then after my graduation, I started with a plant nursery, a tree nursery, where I am growing fruit trees in my nursery. Because why I am growing fruit trees is because people in Haiti are usually cutting the trees to make charcoal. But I see that when a person has a fruit tree, he won't cut it because he know that he will find food from the tree to use. He's gonna protect it. It's for that reason I'm going only fruit trees in my nursery, and so that's it. As you said, also in 2015, I went to Jamaica, where I went to participate in a training where I have learned a lot about breadfruit processing and then breadfruit propagation also. And after, in 2016, I went to Chicago. It was for a training about divergent thinking. That training
about what?
Divergent thinking. It's like to think outside the box, to be creative. It's a training very important for an entrepreneur. And in 2020, I was selected by YLI, U.S. Department, to be a young leader of the America Initiative. And then, and also in 2020 as well, I was selected by a university in Brazil to do a master degree. But it was by OER, Organization of State of America, OIS. So, OIS, Organization of the State of America. To do a master degree. So now I'm in the second year, almost finishing. But all of my work in Haiti, for example, my business, keep going, keep working. And then I have employees who are working there. And also I have a peace organization where we do garden. It's like vegetable garden with women. And then also we do cooking school for them. It's a free cooking school. They don't pay, but we use a
with
part
women only?
With women, yes. Okay. We use a part of our profit, the profit we have in our business, and then to finance the cooking school. But what is the important? We do training for them to start their own business, because after their graduation, they go in their community to start their own business.
I gotta stop you. Because you are dropping a lot of golden nuggets, and I want to fill that in. I don't want to just brush over it. This is first, I gotta say, the idea of planting trees that create fruits, that grow fruit, not create, that grow the trees that grow fruit is brilliant. Because as you mentioned, in Haiti, they cut the trees to create charcoals.
Charcoals, yes.
So now, so that's one resource that they use so they can find something to cook. That's why they use the charcoals. Yes. And instead, you thought outside the box, totally, actually.
Yes.
And then you said, okay, I'm going to plant the trees because we do need the trees. And what can I do? And I'm just saying, like, pretending that I know your thought process here. What can I do so the trees cannot be cut? Give them food. Give them another resource. And you did that.
Yes.
Now they have no reason to cut the tree. They're actually more compelled to plant more, right?
Of course, because, for example, we have a group of farmers where we deliver trees for them. They plant the trees, but they will get an income with the trees because they go to the market to sell the fruits from the trees. You know, they see that important for them, and then they work hard.
So you are creating entrepreneurship in Haiti.
Of course.
Because they're planting their trees now, they're selling their trees, so they bring an income and they can feed their family. So that's why in the announcement that I made of you today, and once I add you in the group, you'll see it. It says you are planting the trees, you are feeding to fight hunger, and also to restore the environment.
Yes.
That's what I see that you're doing.
Yeah, because that has two importances. It's to protect the environment and then to give food to the people, to feed people.
Yes. That's totally brilliant. And then in addition, what you just shared with me, which I didn't know, it's like, that's why I said I have to stop you, because you're dropping so many golden nuggets here. It's really beautiful and powerful. What you're doing is you have a nursery, and it's in Jeremie.
Yes.
And by the way, I've never been to Jeremie, but my grandparents are from Jeremie. So that's one place that I would love one day to visit.
Yeah.
And so you said you have the nursery, and now you also have started a cooking school for women.
Yes.
And this is not a non-profit. They don't pay, they come for free. So who manages the cooking school, and how does it work and where do you get those women to come and attend as well?
Okay, good question. Thank you. First of all, I have a woman. She is the director of a public cooking school. It's her who manage my cooking school. You do training for them, and then I do class for them. You teach them, and she teach them, and then we do cooking school, for example, in different neighborhoods. For example, we can.
So you go to them. You go to the people.
Yeah, we go to the people. We choose a local, for example, a school, a public school in the neighborhood, or a church, to do the classes. And also we talk to a leader in the neighborhood to choose the woman, and what it is, I can say that it is a kind of marketing for us to sell our breadfruit flour as well, because in the cooking school we teach them on how to use or to cook our breadfruit flour, and after their graduation they buy our breadfruit flour to start their own business. It is profitable for them to have a business and then to know how to open a business. And also it is profitable for us to sell more breadfruit flour.
So you started by giving. And as you know, as we all know, as you give, you shall receive back multiplied.
Of course. That is the idea.
That is what's happening here.
Yeah.
And again, it's really it's strategic, and yet it coming from a giving heart. That's what I'm hearing. And then you also helping those women to become self-sufficient, because now they can, after you prepare them with the cooking school, by going to this cooking school, and then they can purchase your breadfruit, and then they can go and sell it. And I was looking, I didn't know anything about breadfruit until I started to research about you. So I am finding it's a really it helps the climate. It's well known around the world. That's one fruit that it seems like it's coming back into this world that we are today, and because it has so many benefits for the environment. So what can you tell us about the benefits of having growing breadfruit for the environment specifically?
I can say that breadfruit is a very important fruit. Or if I want to talk first about breadfruit trees, breadfruit trees is very important because it is a tree that can grow naturally from roots, but also we can propagate the tree also, but it's a little bit difficult about the propagation. And the fruit is very important because, for example, people in Jeremie eat breadfruit like tom-tom. I think that is a word maybe you know about it. And then we can cook it, in different ways. But with the breadfruit flour, it is very important because it is gluten-free. That is the main importance of breadfruit. It is gluten-free. There is no gluten. Everybody can eat, and then it is very important for obesity, and also that is a tree that protect the environment, and then very strong. It is a big tree, and can protect the soil against erosion. And then that is a tree that we can use for reforestation. It's very important.
So how long, and you say it can protect from deforestation and from erosion, and how long does it take the tree to grow to be able to, like, I know it's going to take a long time for us to grow trees back to where Haiti used to be. I get that. So what's the time period for one tree to grow to be like sustainable, and you say, okay, now it's like it's making a difference?
Okay, let's start. When you plant a breadfruit tree, after four to 6 years, you're gonna provide fruit. Okay. But a breadfruit tree can stay for 90 to 120 years. It is it can stay for a long time. 90 to 120 years, it can stay, same problem. And then it is a tree that doesn't need water to water it every day, because it can stay in dry season. Their roots go very, very far in the soil as well.
I did post a video of you on our page talking about how to plant a pied bois, how to plant.
Yes.
And you do explain the whole process. I watch it several times because I'm trying to understand what the
Yes.
process, and you say it's not easy. You're correct. It sounds easy, but it's not easy to plant.
No.
Yeah,
No.
it's really a great video because it teaches people, if you want to do it also, this is the process to do it.
Yeah.
And we do have some dry season in Haiti. When is the dry season in Haiti?
It June, July, August, the summertime.
Oh, but when you say dry season, I was talking about when we don't get much rain. What's
Yes.
when we
Yes.
don't get much rain in June, July?
No, we don't.
Ah.
We get more winds in May. In May we get some, but June, July, August, no. But almost the same about October, November as well. But we know that the summertime is the dry season in Haiti.
Okay, unless we get hurricane, of course. I get that.
Yeah.
It's different. I live in Florida, and for us, it starts raining in May on and off. But in June, July, we get lots of rain, lots of thunderstorms.
Okay.
Which is why I was surprised, because we have so many thunderstorms in June and July that I always say I want to move out of Florida those 2 months, because that we get lots and lots of rain. So that's interesting. So it's dry for you guys. Okay, that's interesting. And so the tree itself takes 4 to 6 years to become before it can grow fruits.
Yes, 4 to 6 years before.
And when did you start this? When did you start your business, the Jeremie Breadfruit Flour?
I started with the Breadfruit Flour in 2012, and then I started with my nursery in 2015.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So 2012, we're now in 2021. So you have tons of trees with fruits.
Of course.
By now. Okay, because it's way over the 6-year limit. Okay, got it. So so you were born and raised in Jeremie. What got you into this field to become an agronomist? What influenced you to become an agronomist? Or who, I should say. What or who?
Yes, very good question. I want to be honest. So, first of all, I would like to be like an engineer, but in 2010, after the earthquake in Haiti, and then I see that I can't go to, but it is not the good period to go to Port-au-Prince to study. And then there is there is an university in Jeremie that has agronomy, and then I went there to study agronomy. But the first, I would like to be an engineer. But doing study in agronomy, I can say that I become love the agronomy, and then I see that that is my main field of study I should select. So in 2012, I had a professor, he's American, and then he came in Haiti, and then he did the training for us about the importance of breadfruit, to explain us the nutrition fact of breadfruit, everything. And then I see that is very important, because at that time, there were so many breadfruit wasted in Jeremie. You know, when it is the harvest time, people can't eat all of them, even pig, because we can use breadfruit to feed pigs, can't eat all of them. And then I see I should start something to save our breadfruit. And then a country like Haiti, a poor country, it's not fair to have food wasted in that country. So that at that time, and then I started processing breadfruit into flour, because a breadfruit flour can stay for 2 years without it is organic. We don't put anything to storage our breadfruit flour, organic, and then can stay for 2 years. I see that, but a breadfruit can't stay even for a week. It's gonna be ripe. I see it's important to process breadfruit into flour. That is the idea to create Jeremie Breadfruit Flour.
So you process it into flour, and then we can make anything with the flour?
Everything you can make with wheat flour, you can make it with breadfruit flour. For example, in my workshop, I have a bakery. In my bakery, we are making bread using breadfruit flour, and then we are making also comparette. Comparette is, I can say that
like a cookie kind of, right?
Yes.
It's not a cookie, but I remember comparette.
Yeah.
I grew up in Haiti.
It's very common in Jeremie. Now people are really interested in our breadfruit comparette. When people go to Port-au-Prince or another city, and then they would like to buy our breadfruit comparette to go there.
So it's made in Jeremie, and then you send them for sale. You're selling them all over Haiti, in Port-au-Prince as well.
Yes, before we sold in Port-au-Prince, but now no, because the stability of politics.
Got it.
Yes, but we feed also children in the orphanages and school, because we sell our breadfruit flour with orphanages. They buy to feed children, because as I told you, it is very nutritious and people are really interested.
Okay, that's really interesting. So you're using that to make other products, and then you can sell it. As I was researching about you, I saw a lady who had purchased breadfruit from Jeremie Breadfruit Flour, and she said she purchased the flour. And she said she made some cookies. I don't want to say cookies, but I didn't get the name of what she made. She said
there's a woman who made ice cream as well. I don't know if you
ice cream.
Yeah, ice cream. She is in Chicago, but I don't know about who you are talking.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, that's a new one. I didn't find about that one, but that's good to know. That lady made something else, and she said it was so delicious. And she said, I used to have to bake. She baked with breadfruit from Hawaii. And she said the breadfruit from Jeremie Breadfruit Flour was delicious. She said it's fresh, it's organic, and it's perfect. And I said, wow, I found that's a great review that you receive. And now you say there is a lady in Chicago as well. That's really cool.
Yes.
So when you went to the university and the university is in Jeremie.
Yes.
What's the name of that university?
University of Nouvelle-Grandance, UNOGA or UNOGA.
UNOGA. Okay.
Yes.
So it's a private university?
Private, yes.
Okay. And then that professor is the one who influenced you by his studies on breadfruit.
Of course, yes.
Yeah. Everybody has somebody who has influenced them at some point in their life. And so now, do you export out of Haiti your product?
I did before the pandemic. I sent my breadfruit flour in the US, but with the pandemic, everything stopped.
Everything stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope that, I don't know, next year or I'm gonna start again. But for now, things are getting back to normal in the US. Slowly but surely. It's like people with the vaccine and all. So people are starting to gather more, and so things are definitely by next year. I'm assuming like this will just be a memory. Yes.
Yeah, the pandemic will be a memory. So it's right now you're in school, and you're in school in Brazil. So did you know Portuguese before you went to Brazil, or you learned while you got there?
No, I did it, but I can say that English helps me a lot because when I arrived here in Brazil, but I talk with people using Google introduction to translation or to talk. I translate in Google to talk, and then and I meet people as well who talk English. But now I'm okay with.
Now you're fluent.
I always want to say, okay, I can speak, but I don't.
You're being modest. You're being modest because full immersion is definitely going to help you become more fluent faster than somebody like me who's studying on her own time any languages, any language, I should say. Yeah. So I totally get that. So it's good that you still have people taking care of the school, taking care of the business while you're studying. So when you're done in Brazil, you're going back to Haiti?
Yes, that is my dream, to go back and then to increase my business, to start my business in another neighborhood as well. Because
so you want to expand?
Expand, yes.
Yeah, so I do hope that Haiti will become more stable, because when the country stabilizes itself, it's going to bring so much more value for all. And I think a lot of people don't get that. Chaos doesn't help at all. It's preventing so many people who want to invest in Haiti as well from going there. Yeah. Definitely. So you were part of the Haiti Tech Summit as well.
Yes, I was.
Yes, and you were selected as one of 100 applicants to present Jeremie Breadfruit as your business. And out of the 100 applicants, you were one of 10 who were selected for, what is it that, what was that about? Yeah, what was that about for you?
It's very great, and then it was challenging, I can say it, because there was an application. You need to do the application and then to pass to when you are selected. And after, you're gonna pitch your business. Mm-hmm. It was about I think I remember it's three minutes to pitch my business, to explain everything, and then what is the most important part in my business to explain. It was challenging, but I did it, and then that's.
And what did you learn from that experience?
For me, I can. Understand that that is something that helped me to be direct in what I have to say, and then to be correct as well, and then to be short when I have to say something. It's not to do like a literature to talk about everything. No, it's to say what is important.
So get to the point, basically.
Yes.
No story needed.
Yeah.
That reminds me, I have when I was coaching a group of business people, and when they have to tell me what we had an assignment, and then I always said, okay, where are you with this? And then they start the story, and I always tell them, remember, no story. Get to the point.
Of course, you need to be clear.
Yes, because the story really, there is always a story behind everything, but the story doesn't help you because you tend to get lost in the story, and the message is not heard from the story. That can happen. Yes, stories are good for certain context, but not always. Not always.
Sometimes there is no time for story.
Exactly. And in this context, there was no time for story because they only gave you 3 minutes, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So you had to get to the point. Yeah, that's great. Mm-hmm. And you also Seed Leaf. You're going to tell us more about Seed Leaf. Seed Leaf. What is Seed Leaf? Because I noticed that you were selected as well.
Yes. Seed Leaf is what was my host organization in the US. I work with them doing the fellows, doing the training with the US department. And then, yeah, they did training for me. They trained me about how I can manage a nursery, you know. And also I share my experience with them. And then I wrote I can say that it's like an essay. It's but I think it was 30 pages, you know, a document for them about some trees, where I explain them on how to grow the trees or to select seeds, you know, and or to take care of the tree, everything about that. I wrote a document and then I share with them. But it was like an assignment for me because they would like me. I can say that it's like a project, you know. When I will finish with them, I have to send them a project. And it was my project to send them a document about trees, you know. It was very good, very interesting. And then it was helpful for me as well, you know.
Yeah, and I can see that. And then as we were just talking about tech summit, that was three minutes, and then now you had to write a 30-page document, 30 pages document on seed leaf. That, what a contrast, right? So, and you said it was very helpful for you, which is excellent. How was it helpful for you?
Yeah, it is helpful for me because after the training, I'm able to take other decision for my nursery, you know, and because I have learned on how to manage in nursery, and then now because when I'm here, I'm studying and I'm working, you know, I keep working with my business, with my staff in Haiti, and then I tell them what to do or to take care of the trees, you know, everything. But what I learned from them, so I share that with my staff. That is very helpful. And now we are going to be successful.
Absolutely, absolutely, and you will be, because with all the work that you're doing on yourself to expand your mind, expand your knowledge, and always grow and expand on your skills, and then you're going to now go back home to apply that in your business. It's definitely going to grow. It's definitely going to grow, no doubt, no doubt, and because you're doing the work. And then while you're in school, you're still working virtually with your staff in Jeremie.
Of course, sure.
That's beautiful. Yeah, that's really beautiful. So so that's basically your one thing. It's the Jeremie Breadfruit Tree and Nursery and the cooking school, because Seed Leaf was when you were in the US, and Seed Leaf is no longer in business, correct?
Seed leaves, no. I can say that seed leaves, they are working on trees or prepare seed, everything like that, you know. But yes, they are not working on breadfruit flour, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. So where do you see yourself? And I would say Jeremie Breadfruit Flour and Nursery and Cooking School. Where do you see this enterprise in the next, I would say, 10 years? What's your vision?
Yes, as I told you, my vision is to expand. You know, I want to see my business where I can ship my breadfruit flour. I can say in the US, Canada, you know, where I can, that is, I can export. And also, I want to see that I have, for example, 4 or 5 workshops. You know, for example, now we are in a neighborhood named Doudouche in Jeremie, close to Préville. So I would like to see, I have a workshop in Moron. I have one in Roseau, you know. Moron, Roseau are neighborhoods where there are so many breadfruit which are wasted, you know. That is my vision is to eliminate decrease the rate of wastage breadfruit in Jeremie. And also to be able to plant so many trees, you know, in 10 years to be able to plant 5 million trees.
That's awesome. And are you planting throughout Haiti? Or you right now? I know right now you're only planting in Jeremie, correct?
No, not only in Jeremie, because there are people. For example, I'm selling my trees with organization, and also sometimes I ask, or when I know an organization which is working in the environment, I can send a project or ask to finance trees for the farmers, when they pay for the trees, and then I can deliver to the farmers where they gonna plant. But what I do when we give them the tree, and after we stay for 3 years to follow them, or to do training for them as well, and then to see if the tree is good, is healthy, is take care well, take care well. That is what we do. But because we can't go the tree and then give freely, we need an organization or someone to pay for the tree for the farmers, because the farmers or the peasants, they don't have money to buy the tree. Really, they don't. That's what we are doing.
So you basically sell the trees to the farmers, but an organization that is already involved in that business is purchasing the trees for the farmers.
I can say I basically give the tree to the farmers, and an organization pay.
Yes.
For the trees. Yes.
For the trees, and then you stay with the farmers for 3 years to help to make sure they are growing the tree the way properly. Basically.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we go to visit the trees, to see everything, and then before giving the trees to the farmers, we do training for them on all.
So that's beautiful. What you're doing actually it's definitely expansion, not just for your business, but for the environment, which we so need in Haiti. So because you're going to different farmers all throughout the nation, and everybody can plant wherever they are and then you providing the training for that.
Of course. So for example, sometimes we have truck from Gonaive, Port-au-Prince, Le Kai, and Cap-Haïtien.
Yeah.
Come in my nursery to take the trees where an organization pay, and then to go there to deliver to the farmers, But I can say that I give a follow-up of the trees for the farmers in Jeremie. But when I send the trees to Gonaive, I can't go there but I call. I always call to ask,
That's great. That's really great. What you're doing for Haiti, it's not only for Haiti, it's for the people as well. So you are really bringing a benefit and bringing values to the environment and to the people who so need it.
Yeah, that is the goal. The goal is to protect the environment and then to feed people. That is the goal. Yeah.
And they're becoming entrepreneurs under your leadership, because they are taking what they're learning and then they go and then it's like the saying that says, "Don't give me the fish, teach me how to fish instead." That's what you're doing.
Of course, because for example, if a mango tree, when will be the harvest time, or when the tree gonna make fruit, they will find the fruit to sell,
Yeah.
And then as sometimes people say that, I sell trees for 1,000, 2,000 good, and then I'm able to buy food for the house. I'm able to pay school for my children. That is very helpful for them. Yeah,
that's awesome. And what can, because we have our group who's watching, and this video is going to be published as well on the web eventually when I get to that.
Yeah.
We're creating a new avenue to expand because people are asking me. Right now we're a private group, but my guests are asking me to expand that beyond the private group, which is why I sent you that email the other day. So what can you, I like to ask people that come on this platform, Candid Creoles, where we have candid conversation for their advice on how we can grow, because I think the message that you have needs to be heard, because the intention of this group that we have is, it's called a celebration of Haitian excellence. And the reason it was created is to change the narrative about Haiti and Haitians. And I said we start with us because we have to start celebrating each other first and foremost before the world can celebrate us. So on our page, we celebrate Haitian, we celebrate people of Haitian descent, and we celebrate friends of Haitians, people who support us and who love us. So this is the whole point of having this group. And then now we're having conversation one at a time with one person at a time, so I can expand the knowledge of what Haiti and what Haitians are doing around the world, whether it's in Haiti or elsewhere. So what will be your advice for us to grow and to expand that message, which is really to represent Haiti in a new light to the world?
Great. First of all, I would like to say you congratulations for that work, because you are doing a great job, and then you are helping people to know more about Asian success. My advice is to keep going, keep working, and also, yes, help people know about what young Asian are doing, and also help think, or I can, if there is a opportunity to help young Asian, for example, who are doing success, if you can also help them to create contact or to create a network for them. For example, if you meet a young Asian or Asian who are working let's say, take an example, who are working, for example, me in Breadfruit, and if you know an organization you think that can buy our product, it's like to create a network, to create contact. That is very good. I don't know if you are doing that. I don't know, but it's only that. After that, it's keep working. Very good job.
This is something that I have thought about, because I know networking. I like to be a connector. I really love that. I actually recently that we have one of our members who is an illustrator, and I connected her recently on the site actually with a Haitian lady who writes children's book. So I thought, what a great way for them. I introduced themselves to each other. I introduced them to each other. And that's something I really like to do. When I see there is somebody is in one business and then there is somebody else who can support that business, then let's introduce them. I really love the idea of being a connector. And because I think, and also like on the page, we promote Haitian products or Asian services every Thursday. People can promote their services. So I always, just like, like in the US, how they say, buy Black, I'm saying, as we're buying Black, let's also buy Haitian. So let's support each other. So I like to say that as well, because I think when we support each other, then we can grow. And when we grow, when one grow, all benefits.
Great.
That's my philosophy. So thank you so much for the advice. And I'm going to ask you some, also how you told us how we can help you is to connect. And because I like to ask also, how can we help you grow? How can the group who's listening help support your business? And I think you kind of respond to that. Would you like to add to that, what you just shared?
I think it's like connection, help me to connect with people that can help. For example, in our program also, if you know people who can help, for example, feeding orphanages, you know, if there is someone who can maybe help feeding orphanages, you know, pay comparate or pay bread for children in orphanage, that will be very good.
You're talking about orphanage, right?
Yeah, orphanage. Yeah.
Are you feeding orphanages right now?
Yeah, there are some orphanages that buy my bread in my nursery and compare it to feed the children, you know, because I have a bakery, you know, they buy from us and then to give to the children, and then they buy also our breadfruit flour, you know, to make porridge for
the children.
Yes. But that is a very good program. But sometimes, for example, I know there were a program where a person paid for an orphanage, and I remember after 6 months, he doesn't pay anymore. And then now the orphanage would like to receive breadfruit flour to keep feeding the children. Yeah, but I can't give them freely, you know. For example, I still am looking for people who can pay for them, and then when a person do that, it's good for me because I can go, I have a profit, but it's also good for the children, for people, because they receive food, you know, and that is our program as well. You know, thinking outside the box is we are looking for organization that can help us to sell more, where we're gonna feed other people, you know.
Yes. Yeah. So you can provide for the orphanage.
Yes. Yeah.
Got it. That's great. Yeah, because the orphanage, those are non-profit organizations that basically survive on donations, correct?
Of course. Only on donations.
Yes. That's correct. And then those orphanages, are those located, the one that you purchase the flour from you? Are they in Jeremie, or are they all over the Haiti?
In Jeremie, because now there are 4 orphanages. They have an organization that pay for them, you know, for them, where I give them my breadfruit flour every month, and then breadfruit comparate, you know, every month. But so that can happen in June, July, and the organization said that, okay, I won't pay anymore, and then now they can't, or they won't receive.
Was that an American organization? Was that a Haitian organization or a foreign?
American organization?
American?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It is only one. For now, it is only one organization that pay for them. Its name, I can say that. I can say the name of organization.
Sure.
Yeah. It's named Trees That Feed Foundation. You know.
What is the name?
Trees That Feed Foundation.
Okay. Trees that feed.
That pay for children in orphanage, and then school as well, and parish, you know.
So it is a non-profit organization, I'm assuming.
A non-profit.
Okay, so they probably run out of funds. I would guess. That would be my guess. Yeah. If they stop doing that, or they they had to do some, anyway, I don't know, I'm not going to speculate. Yes, but that's something that definitely, it's sad to hear that, because they are working with the orphanage, and then now suddenly the orphanage loses that resource, which is that they so need. That's really unfortunate. So to conclude, I'm going to ask you 3 questions. I like to conclude it with a little fun. And so one word, the first 2 questions, it's going to be 1 word answer. So 1 word to describe your life. I'm challenging you.
No, success.
success. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And one word to describe Haiti?
Help.
Oof.
Mm-hmm.
That is such, we need help. Okay. Okay. And now, what advice will you have for Haitian, especially those who live in Haiti, but for Haitian globally as well, as you wish to say? And that
Yeah.
doesn't have to be one word. That can be whatever
Yes.
you want to say.
Yeah. I think, for example, as me, like a Asian, what I'm doing, I'm connect with my community, and then I'm working with them. It's for that reason I'm created the peace organization to work with them. You know, I would like Asian to work with people in Haiti, because, as I said, Haiti need helps, because sometimes people can't, or people don't understand what to do, and then people need other people to come to help them to be creative, to help them to think outside the box. You know, it's for that reason I think everyone who can consider like, as a leader, to go there, a leader in a good sense, to help people. To, for example, for helping people. For example, me, I don't have money when I arrive in a community, or when I meet people to give people money. No, I help them what to do, or what we can do, what we can create, you know, or we can work. For example, when I was in Haiti, I work with people on making garden, you know, vegetable garden, and then they come together. For example, 15, 20 women come together to go, for example, carrots, tomato, or and then and after they go to the market and sell them. When they sell them, the profit they divide by themselves. You know, that is something. But if I was not there, they wouldn't know what to do. Yes. It's for that reason I would like Asian go back to Haiti, give a hand with Asian people, you know, help them to be creative. No, it's not to go to give them money. It's to ask them to work. Let's do this, let's do that. That's gonna be change Haiti.
I totally agree with you. I think instead of giving money, and like I was saying, instead of giving them the food, the fish, like that saying, you teach them how to fish. So you teach them to be self-sufficient. Because when they are self-sufficient, then they don't need to ask you for money, because they know. And you also give them the self-esteem, and as well, you're increasing their self-esteem by giving them the knowledge, or to help them believe that they can build. They don't have to wait for somebody to give to them. They have the capability to build, to create, and to have the life that provide for them and their family.
Yeah, there is, I don't know if it is time, but I would like to share something. There's something I did. Yeah. There's something I did when I was in Haiti, and now people keep doing it. It's to create like a small bank, you know. It's named it's like a micro bank. Yeah, it's a microcredit. Yes, but it's named in Creole mutual solidarity. What I did, it's with people. For example, now we have about 200 members. People came. It is only percent, you know. They come, and then they give. They do they give them money. It is like a depot. They collect their money. They can. That depends how much money people has. The person has. For example, can give 50 goods, 20 goods. But when someone in the group need to borrow money, it can borrow. For example, there are people who borrow money to do business, you know, but we start in January, and in December, for example, in November, everyone gonna give back the money they borrow, and then with an interest of 5% interest. Okay. And then in December, we're gonna give everybody their money with an interest of 2%, you know, and after we start again in January. But what, because before people usually went to a person I can consider like a rich person in the neighborhood to borrow money, and then they're gonna give an interest of 25 or 30%, you know. But the organization now, they can get, or they can find money to borrow. And then I leave Haiti last year, and they keep doing this work, you know.
So after you left, the system continued on among the peasants. So that is really good, because there was a gentleman in India who created something where he started with the beggars, the homeless people on the street, and then he approached a bank to try to get them to loan money to those people, and then the bank would not. So he said, okay, I'll take the money and I'll give it to them, but I am responsible. And they say, oh, you're going to lose your money. And he said, what the bank didn't understand, people who don't have money have such pride, excuse me, that when they borrow the money, they will give it back. And then he borrowed the money. He said he never lost a penny. He gives the money to the beggar. He said, well, you're going to knock on doors to beg. As you're going to knock on doors to beg, why don't you bring something to sell? And then they started to sell their product. And that's how he started. And eventually, the banks never believe in his business, in that type of business, because they say, well, poor people will not return the money. And what he did, he created his own bank eventually, and it became what is now known as he created microbank, and I think the name is Grameen Bank. Okay. And it's flourishing in India.
Very good. But I think in my case, everybody is honest, you know.
Yes.
But it's because they know that the money they borrow, it's a money of a neighbor, you know, because they are living together, and then they know that all the members are people in the community, you know.
Yes.
They know that is.
So they have that loyalty. They have that loyalty amongst themselves, and it's not just for their benefit, it's for benefit of the community.
Yeah, yes.
That's really brilliant. So there is so many things that are happening in Haiti, and what's stopping Haiti from growth, as I see it right now, although I don't live in Haiti, is the instability. That's what's blocking so much to be much better than we are today. But I trust that eventually it will become more stable, because nothing lasts forever. So, and then the country can flourish, and the people can receive the life that they deserve just by being there.
That's our hope.
Yes, that's our hope. And I want to say thank you. Do you have one last word before I conclude?
No.
You're good? Okay, great.
Yes.
Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure meeting you and what you're doing. I wish you all the best, and I trust that anybody that can support your business will. And of course, I heard what you said. If anything come my way, I definitely will keep that in mind. Like I said, I see myself as being a connector. So that's valuable to me, because I know when we support each other, everybody receives. As you give, so shall you receive. And I want to say thank you, everyone, for watching Candid Creoles. And thank you for our guest, Pierre Moise Louis. And as always, peace for Haiti and love for Haiti. Thank you, Pierre Moise.
Thank you very much, Isabel. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.